Hello and welcome to another vid, and apologies that a lot of vids start with the pause screen. It's because this is yet another game that for some reason locks my mouse cursor, so I have to actually essentially start the game first, then start the recording software, then go back to the game. It's weird. Anyway, if you're watching this just after the Swan review, you will know a little bit about this game, a very tiny amount about it. If, however, you are watching this first and haven't seen this one thing, you don't really need to, but you will notice that I actually uploaded both videos, and essentially it's like one's going to be called "This is a 4-player Hades that might be worth your time" versus "This is a 4-player Hades that is worth your time." Ember Knights is something that I had on my radar, and I never got to play it at launch. A friend got it and raved about it, and I was like, that's good, but I literally don't have the time to actually get into this. So it was one of those that I just never got around to starting it, playing it, or anything like that. And it's like, I finally, just before the DLC came out, finally got around to trying it. And I was absolutely fucking stunned by how good it was. It was just a sci-fi version, essentially, of Hades. The starting weapons, the sword, is brilliant, but it also absolutely ruins my arthritis, like, to the point of it would physically pain me playing with the sword for a long enough time. The chakrams, the bow, the hammer, I don't particularly like the hammer, to be honest. It's the only one of the fierce weapons I'm not really keen on, but all in all, I was unlocking everything, I was loving everything. It was just genuinely such a great feeling game. And then you add in the abilities, which I haven't played this in over a year now at this point, to the point of that I completely forgot all of the controls. But the game gives you abilities, and I picked this class here because firstly, the Mega Man Buster, one of the DLC classes, is kind of my favourite class. It's definitely the one that I get my best runs with, and it actually starts with an ability. And basically I can do an active reload to give my shots fire, and fire is pretty useful. I also get the ability to freeze things with my basic upgrades that I've bought, but there we go, skill selectors, so not so much abilities but skills. So I can choose between getting squidlings here and guided assault, which are missiles, and that will go into my right trigger slot, or I can upgrade my buster ammo, or I can add an additional charge. These are like generic ones, additional charge and things. They appear all the time. That's for if you don't actually get something that you want, you have to pick something, unfortunately. So sometimes it's a case of, well, I'll just get that. But the goal of the way these abilities work is you want to upgrade to max them out, because there's 3 upgrades. You only get to pick 2, but by doing 2, you get a 4th one for free. So with the buster, it could be extra clips, I think, was one of them. Again, it's been a year since I've played it, but extra clips, the one that you've just seen me get there, which I think was the reload one, and then my ultimate would be that it just lasts for longer or something. I really wish I could fucking remember what the actual ultimate thing is. There's so many. The one that I do remember, because it was my absolute favourite of everything, you can get a turret, and it's basically a little crossbow, and the little crossbow fires at enemies. You have to plant it down, and it just fires at enemies. And one of the upgrades you can get is that you can pick it up at any point, and it resets its timer. So you can just replace it infinitely, as long as you're good and actually learn the timing of it. And then there's one that you can get like 3 of them, and they fire triple-headed arrows, and it's like you can just build up an entire arsenal of just planting those turrets, and you can run around. You can genuinely beat the game just using these skills. Some of them are so absolutely brilliant. You can also beat the game without ever using them, just using the primary weapon. And I know that might sound a bit weird. You might be thinking, why would you ever want to do that? I actually agree with that, because I don't know why you would willingly lock off an entire thing. But this is one of those story time moments, because, oh, I didn't even look at the screen to see where this is, so this is going to be a random choice. Feel. The reason I actually bring it up is that I have a friend who absolutely hates them, and she got off put them on the wrong foot, because this is where the video is going to go a bit weird. But I need to explain the DLC and the fact that the way Ember Knights works, if one of you owns something and you fill up the friend group, you all own it. and that's the same with the DLC as well as it is with the base game stuff. So because I'd unlocked all of these abilities, like literally every single one of the skills with the exception of the hardest one to get, that was the only one I hadn't got around to unlocking when she started playing the game, and two of my other friends started to play the game, and we were all sitting there playing it together, and she kept getting these abilities that she didn't have upgrades for, and she was complaining the entire time, why would I use these, because they go things and they don't get upgrades, and it's like, you do realise that I didn't have them upgraded when I unlocked them, because that's the whole point, you actually have to earn them. I like the fact that it does that, because it means that then you can try out all of these and know which ones you want to upgrade. Two of the friends immediately was like, oh my god, yeah, that's actually a great point, I'm going to start doing that, I've been getting the stuff that I know I like, I should start getting the stuff that I've never tried, and it made their runs way more enjoyable, and they were glad that I brought it up. Other friend, nope, this still came across as a personal affront to her, and specifically her. How dare this game have skills that she has to level up, I guess. That I still do not fully understand it, but she never uses a single skill. And we can still beat the game co-op, but she's beaten all of the aspects solo. She's actually a lot better at certain classes than me, and probably because she relies only on the class than the actual skills. But I love that it does that. And I especially love that it does it with the DLC, because this is a dev that does deserve your money. Like, even when the game's not on sale, you will get more than enough gameplay out of it, and then add in the DLC as well. The DLC basically does a Hades 2 and doubles the routes, so instead of just having an underground thing, you get the overground. So where this it's that you get the left planets and the right planets. And it also adds 3 new weapons, it adds some new skills, and all of that. My friends only actually want the base game, because one of them plays it solo, as I say it, but she also hates guns, and she doesn't want this, the Buster class. You do also get a boxing glove class thing, and I can't remember the other one, but she just never wanted to buy the DLC herself, because she likes the original run better, so it's like, yep, all of that is fine. The other two friends, it's a monetary thing, like we're in a very bad economy, they already have bought the game, and they only want to play it co-op anyway, so why buy the DLC when they're going to be playing with me, and they automatically get all of that. And they've actually leveled up the DLC classes, so they've got maxed out abilities on things that they don't own. I love that it lets you do this, because it means that if ever they do actually buy the DLC to play it either with someone else or to just play it themselves, they'll keep all of their progress. This is a dev that really does deserve your money. They respect your time, they respect everything, I think, about what makes Hades Hades, but this doesn't have the great story. That's the only thing against it. It's got a decent enough, like, I like the story, I enjoy it, I enjoy the characters, I think Praxis is a really good villain, I love a lot of the actual aesthetic of the game, but it's the gameplay. The actual moment-to-moment gameplay. This is genuinely, in my opinion, better than Hades 1. Not as good as Hades 2, but better than Hades 1, better than Swan, by quite a margin. And it's playable 4-player co-op, and it's balanced for 4-player as well. At no point, outside of the fact that my friend who refuses to use skills would then complain when everyone else wanted to get a skill room, because we all use skills, and this is an aspect of the game she was willingly not using, so she didn't want skill rooms, and would begrudgingly, like, you get a choice here, so that's a power gem and a wisdom gem. Power is obviously gives you more power, wisdom is, I think that's speed if memory serves. I think the green one was speed, so you would basically vote between, and it's like, well, I'd rather take the power gem, and everyone else is like, yeah, I need to level up my skills, because, you know, they're kind of important. And it's not as if she wouldn't reap the rewards of us having really good skill builds. Like, when 3 of us take those turrets, and you can just plank down 9 turrets, it would have been amazing to have planked down 12, but she really refused to use them. Like, even casually or anything, just she would take them because she had to, but she would just then never use them. It is move speed. It's just odd. Anyway, but yeah, the way that it works, you all get the same mouse with the same random. There's no like picking deities. Like the co-op just works magnificently, and this is why I'm putting this up at the same time as Swan, because I've just gone through Swan saying I feel the way the deities work kind of fucks over the co-op, but the way this works, you choose a relic, you choose a skill, everyone pulls from the exact same pool, no one gets fucked over. And that is what I love the most about this. And the other thing that I love, that I wish Hades did, you can play it indefinitely. Now, it gets broken, as me and a friend discovered. She was the only one who was really into it as much as me. Out of the 5 of us, obviously it's only a 4-player game, but there were 5 of us playing, and she was the only one who was into it as me. And we played, and got God tier builds pretty early, and we played, and played, and played. It just looped over and over again. We were on the 5th full loop. The game started to break. Firstly, our power was untouchable. Like, it was at a point of, we were trying to lose and we couldn't. We had so much health, regen, we would one-shot pretty much everything. It was impossible to lose. And then the game basically crashed. It started to get to the point of, the enemies didn't know what to do, we didn't know what to do. It was loading in planets, and I put the kiosk thing on. I'll need to turn it off thinking about it, because I think this is how it lets me choose. By the way, like, there is obviously this way you choose your weapons and those. There's a shop that you can get at the start so you can use certain things, but there we go. This is what I wanted to show. It gives you a choice, basically, between planets. So the left route is the original route, and the right route is the route that, like, the DLC route. And it's not just a case of alternate versions of the same planet. It's kinda like that. It's like one's more fantasy, one's more spacey sci-fi type thing, and the takes that it does, the bosses that it does, the enemies that it does, it is brilliant. But you'll get very distinct things. Like, one route's got this lush forest, one's got the mushrooms, one route's got that hellfire area that you're seeing, one's an ice palace, one's got I'm trying to remember the alternate third world, because the third world is probably my favourite, but basically, it's got a Hollow Knight reference, which I'm not going to say what it is, but it's got a Hollow Knight reference, and this is why the friend who got into it as much, she was also a massive Hollow Knight fan, and it's like, you got to love World 3. So World 3 is like a graveyard, and I can't remember what the alternate World 3 is. World 4, I can't remember, but the alternate is sci-fi, and it's like you're fighting computers and a Tron type thing. It's brilliant. And then there's one all-encompassing kind of World 5, and the way World 5 works is, as you go through runs, it gets bigger and better, and you get like the true boss. But we've done this loop. We've played through every single side, left and right. Like, we're on our 5th fucking loop, and the load time between planets got to 10 minutes. And we were actually saying, yeah, as much as we wanted to continue with this, we wanted to really see how far we were going, because we were both loving it. The game is kind of now getting completely fucking unplayable. So I think I've just realised my mistake. So when I said the green one was wisdom, I'll have been, although to be fair, no, wisdom is courage in Zelda. So basically, this is the gem, the purple one here is wisdom. So green was move speed, wisdom is the one that increases your skills. And the friend who therefore didn't use skills, absolutely despised us getting skill damage as well, because that was something that didn't help her, so it didn't matter that it helped the 3 of us. So yeah, anyway, we've got to the point where we really wanted to see how far we could go, because we were still enjoying it, but it was becoming brutal to actually play. You can't go 10 minutes between loading planets. And that was when we decided, you know what, we'll call it quits here, we'll do this planet and then switch it off, because we were literally just about to do the boss to complete the 5th full run. So it's like, we'll do that, and then we'll see our run was 5 complete runs, and then we'll call it quits. We cleared the planet, and we were expecting a 10-minute loading screen. Cleared the planet. Loading. After 10 minutes, we were like, okay, so is it getting longer again? And we were both like, we were getting really tired at this point. It was 11 PM and she was in Germany, so it was actually 12 PM, so she's going to bed later already. And eventually, after the 15-minute mark, I said, I don't think this is going to load. I think it's crashed. And she actually went out of her way. She went, if memory serves, went to shower, went do all of the stuff that she needed to do for bed, and left it running, just in case, because she was as invested as I was at that point, because we'd been doing it for a long time. And basically, she came back and saw that it was still frozen, and it's like, how long's it been? And I'd actually went to do chores as well, and like, I think it's been 28 minutes now at this moment in time, so it's like, okay, we're turning this off, bye, good night. Yeah, I love the game so fucking much, and I wanted to just keep playing it, and it's gutting that that was actually what killed the game for me and her, because we would have kept playing over and over. It was like this weird little addictive thing. We fully admit it, but the gameplay was perfect. She loves Hades, I love Hades. It was just absolutely perfect. We loved going through it, loved all the things. You could get so many different builds, so many unique varied things, changing weapon, changing skills, just absolutely amazing. And as soon as it got to the point of, oh, we're actually so good at this game that we break it, that's kind of a problem, because that's stopping to be fun. And then when it's, oh no, we actually fully broke the game, I guess we're just done with it then, because how could we play another run? Unfortunately, but, like, how do you top that? It's like, we couldn't play for fun anymore because we'd already done absolutely everything that we needed to do or wanted to do. I forgot to turn an alarm off and kind of got killed looking over, but it's fine. So yeah, it's like, where do you go from there? You kind of can't do anything. It's not as if we can make it worse. I mean, obviously, we could increase the fear level and stuff like that, or heat level, or whatever it's called, the skulls at the start. We were experimenting with that, and we basically got all of the ones that you need to do to get the final unlocks. But even then, that's got diminishing returns, because it's just like, well, it's not so much making it harder, it's just making it longer and taking more time, because we've got to that point where we were getting really, really good at it. So, yeah. This will last you genuinely a long time if you get into it, even if it's a solo play. I've put almost 100 hours into this. It's way more time than I put into Hades 1. It's not as much time as I put into Hades 2, because Hades 2 is like the pinnacle of this genre now for me. Is like, I truly do wish more than anything we could just get Hades 2 with co-op. And even if I limit it to Zagreus as the co-op player and it's only 2-player, Ember Knights and Hades 2, if the two of them could ever combine and be a perfect marriage, I don't think you'd get a better roguelike on the history of the planet. This is, for me personally, for my tastes, this is just perfection. I cannot recommend it enough. And if you have played Sworn and you've never had this on your radar or anything, you may not go back to Sworn if you've had your fill of it. Like, I've had my fill of this, that's why I'm playing Sworn. If you start both together, start Sworn and see it through at the end, because I don't see how this would not absolutely obliterate it for you. It's just absolutely magnificent as a game. I love truly every last thing about it, even down to the fact that there's so many secrets as well. There's still some secrets we haven't figured out, but this waterfall here, I think, minor spoiler, but I might even be wrong anyway, I think you need an ice weapon to open it. So, as I've got this ice charge, nope, either that doesn't count, or I'm incorrect with the ice thing, because I do have my full power thing does an ice. So yeah, there's secrets all over, and mostly, if memory serves, unlocks costumes and skin colours, and that's actually, to be fair, although I've just entered the main menu, but it's fine, that's something that I will end the video on, because I would like to go through some of this stuff just for the customizations, because there's some absolutely breathtaking color combos. You can get so many really cool different flames and armors, and you can change the weapons as well. You can set up different combos, and you can go do a daily dungeon type thing, and by doing the daily dungeon, that's how you actually unlock some of this stuff. You unlock gems essentially, so that you can then spend the gems. I can't remember where you spend them for to unlock the costumes, but yeah, there's so much to unlock. And it doesn't feel like a grind either. That's the other thing that I complained about with Sworn. There's so many things, and it's like, this is an actual grind. This, you will get things faster than you ever realised it. That 25 planet run that I did with my friend, as much as it crashed, we still got the unlocks. And when we booted up, it was just like, you unlock this. Like, at one point on a solo run, I think I did 22 rooms, and I had close to 35 unlocks by the time I was done with that one room. And obviously some people might be saying, well, that might be too much. Honestly, the way the flow works, I was worried it would be. I'm like, oh yeah, this is really too much, I'm getting way too much too fast. And it's like, actually no, because the way it works, it's all random anyway. You don't have to engage with all of it right away, and the chances are you'll not be able to engage with all of it right away. So it doesn't matter that I've unlocked it, it just means it's now in my pool for things that I can pull. And I love that about it. I really did. It's, yeah. I'm trying to remember how to actually open the modification for the weapons, because this is the other thing I should at least do. By going through the weapons, you can see there are so many different combinations of just everything because of the way it works. Like with the sword, I love going for a fire build because it's just perfect for me. And obviously the sword has a spin attack as its third thing, so, you know, Zelda reference. Because again, I've already mentioned there's a Hollow Knight reference, but I'm not mentioning what it is. There's so many references to so many things in this, and it's like you can tell this has been made by people who just genuinely love playing games, and absolutely love so many different ones that they wanted to do little Easter eggs and little things. And yes, by the way, you can pet the Ember dog, which does change colour every time I change my colour as well. Absolutely love so much of the attention to detail, so many of the different things, like everything about it. If they do another DLC, I'll be there day one. If they do a sequel, I'll be there day one. If they just make another game that's even a roguelike, I'll be there day one, because I know fine well your progression is fucking fantastic. Everything about it, cannot rave about it enough, right? And with that, though, I am getting to the point of just waffling, so I'm going to say it. I've been Sky Fellowship. Until next time, I truly do hope you have a great rest of your day. And yeah, if you don't have anyone to play with, this is still well worth playing solo. Swan works solo as well, and it is pretty decent. But if you don't have anyone to play it with, this is the better of the two. If you do have people to play it with, this is still the better of the two by a mile. I also am now going to do the most suicidal run of all time, I guess. I've done this once before, and we lasted seconds. I accidentally triggered it with the same friend, the friend from Germany that I was playing with. We were the ones who were the most into it. I can't remember what our actual max of this heat fear whatever rank was, but I accidentally hit the button, put it all on, and she immediately had fear, and it's like, oh my god, we are so going to die so quickly. And I'm like, it'll be fine, we're really good at the game. Maybe 2 floors, maybe 3 floors by the time we'd lost everything, because yeah, it's just like one shot like this. It's a bit too much for us. So that's what I mean. The diminishing returns. Maybe we could get to the point of being good enough to do that, but also there's so many other games and we wanted to move on at that point. But yeah, it'll take you a while before you get sick of it. Right. Anyway. Oh yeah, I've just realised this is one of those mouse cursor things, so I'll time to end the video with some waffle. Bye.